This. Great lighting. All right. So, what time is it? 6:29. We have another minute or so for everybody to just settle in from the Monday. Someone's got a case of the Mondays, and that someone is me. So I hope everyone is doing well, had a nice weekend. I'm going to give everybody another minute or so. It's actually probably about 6:30 now. So I like to give everybody, a couple of seconds to settle in. Traffic is bad out there. Everybody's holiday shopping. It's a lot of activity going on. So we want to let everybody have a chance to fully embrace the beginning of the Steve Squared show, which now, lucky for you people, is going solo tonight. You lucky squares. You don't have to listen to my cohorts drone on about some nonsense, some minutia. I will give you all the minutia you need tonight. It's Monday. It's Steve Squared show. What do we got on tap today? We got a lot of stuff. I had to write it down. There was so much over the weekend that I was like, this will be good for the show. This will be good for the show. This will be good. I'm big on lists. I constantly make lists so I don't forget. So I put things on my phone. I like lists. Look at this. I got lists galore. This is, if you could see this, this would be what I have to prepare for the week, right? I have some things to do. Look at this. Christmas shopping. Do the Steve Squared show. If I didn't write this down, I would forget to do the show. I'd be somewhere right now in a store going, it's Monday, 6:30. Steve Squared. But thanks to this, here I am. And there you are. So let's start. Last week, remember, I had to do this and I was all befuddled. It was a mess. Well, I have, for your entertainment pleasure, I got some blurps. What are we doing here? Let's see what we got for you people. So we'll get ourselves going here. Maybe not. It is just another manic Monday for you people. And the Bangles thing, I have a better one. If I only had a brain. That was from The Wizard of Oz. So anyway, wanted to wish you all a happy Monday. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, coming to you live and unedited. And speaking of edited, I got my proof copy of my book, so I was very excited. Anything is Possible, the Jack LaLanne story. So I was going to show it to you guys and reveal it, but it's just the proof copy, the one that says you cannot resell this book. So it's so I can make corrections and adjustments, and there were a few minor things. So I asked my mom to give a read through, just check it out, see if you see anything. And she comes back at me with commas all over the place. My mom, I said, no. Don't worry about commas. She's the comma queen. She's got commas all over the place. It's a book full of commas. I think Amazon charges by the comma anyway. So I said, Mom, no. My book is one run-on sentence. I'm about content. I'm a creator. I'm not an English professor. I don't get into the minutia of grammar. My mom's big on grammar. No. You get the idea, right? So don't worry about grammar. Don't get into it. But my poor mom, she was reading, and I'm going, just skim, and every word. But she did good. She found a few things, so a few typos and a few things like that. So I'm close. So I will reveal it when the book becomes live. Then I will share it with you guys. I have a lot of things that are kind of upsetting to me. And I'll start with one thing. This was in Newsday. I have a lot of Newsday issues. And let me start with one. Actually, hold on one second. Nobody go anywhere. I'm going to get you for you. Anyway, better things. I had to make a little bit of a correction. So I was going through some of my Newsday. I have a problem with Newsday people. They had a few ads and a few spreads that was going on, and the first thing that bothered me was they had this. I don't know if you could see it. It's called On Track for the Holidays, right? So they're basically what they're discussing is they're saying people are doing models right now for the holidays, and they show these husband and wives with these big train sets, models all over the place, and it's just infuriating because I wrote to Newsday, and my dad had been doing models. I had him on the show, and he's been doing it for quite some time now. They never responded. And then they do this whole spread, this whole piece on people doing models. And I was very upset about this. And not only for the fact that we've been stupid Newsday subscribers. We're the only people that get Newsday. We're the last ones on Long Island that get this rag. So you think the least they can do would be to do a piece on my dad, who does models. So they do this model spread after I've written to these people. And they do this whole thing of these fugazi people who probably just did a model for the picture of these train sets. It was very upsetting. It was exactly. So this was rant number 1. That started my Monday off right away. That was actually in yesterday's paper. I was very upset about that. And I had a lot of upsetting things. Just in case you've just joined us, another upsetting thing, but actually should be a good thing, is I'm actually going solo tonight. This is my second week in a row going solo. So lucky for you people. Emily, I don't know where she is. She's MIA. Steve is in a undisclosed location. Can't find him. Again, Monday, 6:30. 1 hour a week, and they can't be here. It's all about commitment and caring about you people, and obviously they don't care. So, what are you going to do?
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
That's true. So, more importantly, at least you have me. So I should maybe come in, write in. Maybe I should change the name of the show from the Steve Squared Show to just Steve, the Steve Show. Like Dr. Phil does, I'll call it Dr. K, Dr. Steve, something like that. I'll play around. Send me your thoughts. We'll change the show up a little bit. I'm also doing it a little bit different, again, because of computer and technical issues. I'm actually streaming the show through my phone. Hopefully that'll work, and you guys will get to enjoy the show a little bit. My orientation was off when we first started the show, so I might have been facing one way or the other, but I like to think you were facing the wrong way. It's never my fault. It's always yours. So get with it. Let's go. Turn your body this way. If you see me this way, turn that way. If you see me this way, turn the other way. It's like exercise, so don't worry about it. If you have to watch the show this way, maybe do a handstand to watch the show, we're here for you to give you entertainment. Doesn't matter which direction we're facing, right? You can still hear me. What else annoyed me? Oh, this is stupid. Newsday also had some great gift ideas because they want people to go shopping, right? You're supposed to stay home, but go shopping. Help the economy, but stay under your bed, for God's sake. I'm so confused. But don't worry, Newsday gave you some great gift ideas. Here's something nice that you can enjoy. Look at this, a golf club bottle opener. Your dad's going to enjoy that, right? Look at that little golf club. It's in the shape of a golf club, and it's a bottle opener. If you don't like that, which I'm sure you don't, they got more. Newsday, believe me, they got more. They have, this looks great, a Montauk Lighthouse belt. So it's a belt for your pants, right? And it's got the Montauk Lighthouse all around the belt. And you can enjoy that if you were a Montauk Lighthouse fan. So that's, and they have a croquet set. So there's some great gift ideas from Newsday. Again, I'm sure Newsday won't be around much longer anyway, so I won't have to get too mad at them. These are not great gift ideas. I'm sorry, Newsday. But they did do one section which I thought was interesting. They had What else did they have? They listed this nonsense. They gave Slices of Heaven, where to get your best Long Island pizza. Let's see, where would be the best place to get Long Island pizza? They actually have a lot of nice places here. Charred Brick Oven. The name of the place is called Charred Brick Oven, okay? It's in Seaford on Merrick Road. It's a new place. They have a margarita to die for, a delicious margarita pizza. You go over there. They have imported sausage for those of you that still eat meat. Enjoy that. There is one, I thought there was one in Massapequa. Salvatore's in Port Washington. My brother lives up in Port Washington. They got a shout out. The Pie at Salvatore's. That's in Bayshore. They got a lot of good pizza places here. There's another pizza place. Oh, here it is. This is called what is this place? Savario's. This is in Massapequa. They make this pizza. It's called a Deep Pequa. So basically, it's like a deep dish Chicago pizza, but they replaced instead of whatever, they put a Deep Pequa instead of to get the massive, instead of deep dish, it's Deep Pequa. Good for them. They actually used to be a pork store on Broadway, for those of you that know the area. So they have some good pizzas. It's in Newsday, Long Island's Feed Me section. That's actually a pretty good section, I have to say. It's the best pizza. They have a lot of pizza places here. Check them out. Get yourself some pizza. This is the Metro at King Umberto's in Elmont. The Metro. That's another top-notch pizza place. So they have lots of pizza places in here. Even though, as a dumbbell writer, as you can see, hey, that's a pretty good shot of the dumbbell shirt. Finally. Thanks to my designer of the Dumbbells hit sitcom coming to a TV near you, my nephew Jared. Great graphic designer. He actually designed the symbol for dumbbells and the logo, if you will. Here I had a problem though. So I'm working on my book. A lot of things are going on. I'm trying to get prepared for the show. I take a little break last night and I say, everybody's talking about this Queen's Gambit nonsense, this show on Netflix. Okay, I'm in. Okay, I'll jump in. I'll jump into the Kool-Aid. So I put it on my Netflix. Of course, my computer crashes for a second. I have to go to Chrome, whatever. So I watch a few minutes of this nonsense. And it's a good thing Steve is not here because Steve is all in. He's screamed at me for not liking it. He said every single person in the world, except for you, likes the Queen's Gambit. I said, are you sure? Because I don't think so. But okay. I didn't love it. I know, I've heard everybody loves it. Okay. So it's a movie, it's a series about this girl, an orphanage. It's Annie, basically it's Annie learns how to play chess. Okay. And she's very good at it, of course. The season 1, episode 1 opens up, she's drunk in a bathtub, I think. I don't know, I was half watching it. She slobbers out. She runs. She realizes she's in a hurry for something. She's got no shoes on. The whole, she's not really dressed per se. I'll just leave it at that. This is a PG show. And she runs in and cameras and they're setting it up and she, the guy's annoyed, the guy that she's supposed to play, she's late. So really they're trying to set up that she's a badass, but's great at chess. So I did a little research because, of course, when is this? This is so original of Netflix. Good for them, because nobody's ever done anything with chess before. Oh, wait, it actually has. I did a little research. Because I'm a researcher. I like to see. So let's look at some TV shows or movies that have used chess as a thematic run-through for their movies. What do we have? Knights of the South Bronx. With the great Ted Danson. So this is Knights, Knights. So, right, it's these gangsters, ruffians, hooligans, if you will. They learn how to play chess. And Ted Danson brings everybody together as only he can. Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, we loved him what was he in? He was in a lot of movies. I actually liked him in I think it was Men of Honor. He was great. He's great in a lot of movies. He starred as the true story of Eugene Brown in Life of a King. Another movie about a guy that grew up poor and in a tough way and became a great chess player. Okay, good. Queen to Play, starring Kevin Kline. The Lotzen Defense with John, who I love, John Turturro. It's called I'm probably saying it wrong because I'm not a chess player. Checkers is my game. See, if Netflix showed a show called Crown Me or something, I'm not snobby, okay? I don't have to run around saying I play chess so people think I'm smart. I enjoy checkers. Keep it simple. I'm playing checkers, okay? I would watch a show where somebody went, stop, 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 crown me. That would be great. I don't want to hear this nonsense, but okay. Queen of Katwa. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's about a Ugandan girl, 10 years old, who learns how to play chess. Tobey Maguire, the wonderful Spider-Man, was in Pawn Sacrifice, which I thought was something else, but apparently Pawn was P-A-W-N. It was a chess. I thought it was something else. That was also a true story, 1972. Watch that. And of course, I'll give you one more, Searching for the Great Bobby Fischer. Okay. My point is, stop it, Netflix. Come up with something original. For God's sake. Oh my God. Really? So we get it. It's a girl and a woman and a girl, whatever. She starts off as a girl. She's a woman. She's against the rules, badass, doesn't follow the men system, right? They make them look like a bunch of fools. I get it. It's woke. We need to be woke. Netflix will never be accused of not being woke. So good for them. Right on, Netflix. Good job, baby. But I wasn't done there, because after I turned that mess off after 10 minutes, and you know what also, it's a common tool, a common thematic tool that a lot of these shows use, is the young person, girl, boy, whatever, they get mentored by some old salty guy, right? Whether it's Lawrence Fishburne in this chess movie, or it's in Rudy, right? He finds the guy that mentors him, or Natalie Portman in The Professional, right? She's the hit girl when the hitman teaches her how to be a hitman. So I'm still trying to get an idea of where the originality of what they're doing here, but there's not a lot. But my show, Dumbbells, no. Okay. I love when they tell you, when you go in and you pitch shows and they tell you all the time, that's not original enough. We have a show like that, really, because chess seems to be okay. You're doing 49 chess shows. That's okay, though. All right. Or 100 vampire shows, whatever. So I watched another Netflix show. If I wasn't, I'm a glutton for punishment, glutton-free for punishment. I watched Selena, and I like Selena, not Selena Gomez. Everybody calm down. This is, what did I watch? I watched, I don't know what that was spooky. So I watched a little bit of Selena, which is, she's the great singer, Selena, who was tragically murdered by some sick, stalking fan who became her manager, actually, and was in charge of her money. And then when they confronted her, she shot Selena and killed her back in, I believe it was 1995. Selena was only about 25 years old. And I believe Selena would have had a better career. She would have been huge, better than Jennifer Lopez and Madonna. But okay. So they do it as a series, and I've been waiting to watch this. I was excited to watch the Selena series because I love her music and her. So again, same thing. The shot opens, and it's just the back view of Selena. Okay, we get what you're trying to do. It's just a silhouette, if you will. Silhouette. Okay. So good for, we get it. You establish that. And then the scene opens with her crying hysterical, I'm too beautiful, I don't think I can do this, it's too much pressure to be wonderful and beautiful. And then her sister came in and said, it's okay, you can be beautiful, you are wonderful. And then she called the brother in who told her, you are wonderful. And she said, I can't be, it's too wonderful, it's too much pressure to be great and famous. Okay. This went on for about 15 minutes until I said, this is enough of this mess. And I shut that off. So 0 for 2 for Netflix. But I was pleasantly surprised. I did watch Bryan Cranston, the great Bryan Cranston, who I loved him in Malcolm in the Middle. Some people loved him in Breaking Bad, but we all loved him as the dentist in Seinfeld. He is starring in this show on Showtime called Your Honor, and it was great. I watched episode 1. I've been waiting for like a month and a half for this. I told my parents, watch this. I told everybody. I'm like a fan of this. What happens is his son, and I try not to, I don't want to give away too much, but I'll set it up because the trailer does. You can watch it. His son accidentally hits and kills a boy with his car, and he accidentally hits and kills him. And the boy turns out to be a mafia kingpin's mob boss son. So Bryan Cranston, who's a respected judge, goes into panic mode, and he knows he needs to protect his son, and that's how it starts. Very good, very well acted, very well played. I wish I had the name of the son. He was really good. And it was episode 1. It's I don't know how many parts it'll be, how many episodes, but watch that. Don't waste your time with Queen's Gambit. Stop it. You know, and you don't need to watch. There's plenty of chess out there. Stop with the chess. Little quick advertisement here. Toys for Tots. I'm always big on the holiday season where you should be trying to give some toys, right? We have usually at my gym, I'm not there now, we do a Toys for Tots program, and I put a box there, one of those nice marine boxes, and people throw and give great gifts and things like that. They will, the Toys for Tots, so it's not there, but I was talking with Sally. Sally, you all know from Tony and Sally's show, Knock 'em Dead Comedy, Monday through Friday. I think it's 11:30. Great show. They're very funny. Sally, we were discussing, so she announced to all of her viewers and told all the shows, hopefully, that they're telling their audiences, and I'm telling you now, you can send, you can go on, say you want to go on Amazon or wherever, and you want to send a gift, a Toys for Tot gift. When you buy the gift and you get to the part where you want it shipped, I will give you that right now. Just make it to the attention of Toys for Tots. And you want to put it to also to the attention of Sergeant SGT. Sergeant, you can abbreviate it, SGT. John, John, C. Sardin, Sardine. So that's attention Sergeant SGT. John, middle initial C, last name Sardin, Sardine. Then you would put TFT, standing for Toys for Tots. He's the TFT coordinator. And that's at 605 Stewart, Stewart, 605 Stewart Avenue in Garden City, New York. The zip on that is 11530. Send some toys, buy something inexpensive. Don't go crazy. Buy yourself a nice $5, $10 gift. Send it over there. Let the kids have some fun around the holiday season. What you can also do, and I actually set this up last night, if you've ever been to Governor's Comedy Club for a show, and hopefully sooner, hopefully better than later, there'll be shows again, things that we can enjoy, comedy. But there's a little deli, the Deli Mart, right next door with the big cow on it. And they were so gracious enough to put a Toys for Tots box in their establishment. So if you're getting an egg sandwich, I hear they have wonderful egg sandwiches. Guy is really nice. Go over there. If you are just stopping in, you could drop a toy right there in the box, and I will be collecting them and delivering them to that Stewart Avenue base in Garden City. So you have a couple of different ways, whichever way you feel comfortable. And we want to hopefully get that going. I was having a hard time. I'm having all these technical issues, and I'm not one for patience. I lose it quick. Ask my family. I have no time for nonsense. And I'm in a rush to try to fix all these technical issues with my computer and the phone and the broadcasting streaming software and all of this chaos. And still trying to find Emily, trying to find Steve, and it's just a mess. So I get to log into my wonderful blurps, my sound effects, and they come to the point, I'm logging in and it gives you that stupid verify right? Where you have to check lights, traffic lights, bridges, bicycles. I can't make out which box this nonsense is in, and I have no time. It's 6:25, and I'm asking for the next one. Okay, bicycles. I don't know. They look like they're in all the boxes. Okay, bridges. This is a waste of time. Okay, this is Blurps. If somebody wants to hack into my Blurps and have sound effects, you can have this. I mean, if you want this, give me. I mean, if you want to steal that, you can just get on YouTube and get that. It's no big secret. You don't have to put that much security on my Blurps. Although that is a good beat. And I thought that was, I don't know who that was. That is not the Doobie Brothers, as was said to me by Steven on our last show. I'm not sure who that is. It's a lot of guys with long hair. I don't know. But if you want, to get your Blurps, I don't care. But that was a tense moment for me. It was like 6:25. I'm racing around. Finally, it let me through. Like, I don't even think they have that much clearance, for nuclear missiles at the White House. But I'm glad the Blurps are on point. I was watching this Christmas movie. I was watching a lot of Christmas movies, and we're going to talk about one I really enjoy, and I got my mom hooked on, and it's my niece's favorite, my niece Kelly. She loves this movie. I won't give it up yet. Most of you probably know. But I was watching, what was this movie? Christmas Chronicles 2. It's a really awful Christmas movie. There's been so many Christmas movies, they're just trying to muddle them, and mixed in are the real good ones, right? You have your animated, always your go-tos, your Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, your real good ones. Oh, I have a nice Grinch blurb for you people. I'll look for that. I was looking for Grinch stuff, but I don't know where it is. And you know what that means. This is unacceptable. But I'll find it for you. It was very, really good. That's true. Oh, here we go. Maybe you can hear this. That's not the real one, but you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. So, you have your classics. So, I'm watching Christmas Chronicles 2. It is god-awful. Starring Kurt Russell, who I love, and Goldie Hawn. They're always in movies together. Overboard was one of my favorites. But they're in this horrible movie. Kurt Russell now looks like Kenny Rogers, the great late Kenny Rogers. And Goldie Hawn they should play the Kenny and Dolly story. Netflix needs to call me. I will give them better movies and better content to show. You show Kenny, Kurt Russell he's right there. His hair, the whole thing. He was trying to play Santa Claus, but he really looked like Kenny Rogers. So, and Goldie Hawn, she could blonde. She could totally play a Dolly Parton. And that's the movie they should be making. Stop this Christmas Chronicles 2, 3, 4. I'm sick of these. We're going to re-show you the spirit of Christmas nonsense. All right? Every movie's doing this. Stop it. Come up with something original. That's the theme of the show. Stop being a copycat. Be an originator. Okay? So Christmas Chronicles, I wanted to give a shout out to those people. Hey, do you know, there's actually, speaking of Christmas movies, one of my favorites, It's a Wonderful Life, is one of the, classics.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon?
Oh boy.
Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around and pull it down.
Who doesn't love Jimmy Stewart going insane at Christmas time, right? So, there's actually an It's a Wonderful Life museum. Where is it? In Seneca Falls. So if you find yourself where, I have no idea where Seneca Falls is, sounds lovely though. Go enjoy the It's a Wonderful Life museum. I think you can, maybe you'll find the $8,000 that Jimmy Stewart misplaced, right? George, where's the $8,000? That's a lot of money back then. It's a lot of money now. So back then, that was probably like $20 million or $800 million, whatever it was. But we all know that Lionel Barrymore bastard had it. Mr. Potter was pocketing that money. Well, he got his at the end, didn't he? Because everybody knows you're only as good as your friends, right? Wasn't that the message from Clarence? Something like that every time a bell rings. In real life, Jimmy Stewart would be still doing time in prison. He'd be serving life in some hardcore Midwestern prison, and we'd be watching it on like AMC on lockdown, one of those shows where you love after lockout or something like that, where they reunite. That would be real life. But in the wonderful world of Hollywood, things work out for everybody. Good for them. So I was watching, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. There were certain movies that cannot be played on regular television, regular broadcast. You're editing out. They're just so much cursing. It just looks stupid, and you're missing the funniest parts. Like, don't put Goodfellas on regular TV. Don't put Scarface, for God's sake, on regular TV. It looks silly when Al Pacino's got his machine gun. He's like, "You stupid people!" No, he's not saying that. So stop it. Don't. Just leave those movies where they belong. I like the cursing, and I don't like to see it dubbed in, especially Goodfellas, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? But that's just one of my rants. And speaking to this time, this is, oh boy, you know what time it is. This is actually brought to you by Soap Scum.
Mom, I've seen it all now. You're using Tilex Instant Mildew Stain Remover, and there are no mildew stains.
It's Celsius time.
Tilex is for mildew stains and soap scum.
Soap Scum.
Soap scum.
So we're going to take this opportunity, since we're halfway through the show. We're going to break open a little Celsius to enjoy, as we often do. Grab yourself a nice orange, clean Celsius. And of course, no Celsius would be complete without a straw. I like to drink with a straw. A bendable one if that's available. I'm very high maintenance. Yellow today to match my shirt. Lucky people. There was something else. Was there something else that was... oh yeah, this is where that... It's a Wonderful Life museum was, but there was something else I thought was interesting. These were some... I found it in Newsday under the seniors, things for seniors to do or for people to do. Newsday also had a good piece on great ideas to do for the holiday season, since we're all, trying to stay limited in what we do. Newsday had some great ideas. I thought I'd share them with you because I wouldn't have been able to think of them, and I'm sure you wouldn't out there. My squares, we couldn't have thought of this. Good thing for Newsday. They said, get yourself a New Year's Eve. This is probably more New Year's Eve stuff. You get yourself a noisemaker, something, that makes a noise, right? Woo! And Zoom in with a friend, and you both blow the Zoom at midnight at each other on Zoom. That should be loads of fun. And of course, always adjust for the time difference. In case your friend lives somewhere else, and you're 3, right? They might not have the same New Year's Eve. Okay. They also said what you can do is you can play a game of Christmas hide-go-seek, where somebody hides something on the tree and you have to find it. So it was ideas like this. Oh, you can all have dress-up party hats with the sticks, and you can hold them. It was just a plethora of ideas like this that Newsday was sharing with us. I again, thought was wonderful on their part. I'm getting to think that they put this paper together in less than 4 minutes. I believe that there's one person sitting somewhere in a undisclosed location, like a closet. The budget for Newsday is probably like $11, and this is what they're putting out. So it's the same person that does the Dear Amy column with their, advice, is the same person that does these pieces on ideas for the holidays, who is the same person that writes about pizza joints, who is the blah, blah, blah. So, but my family still subscribes to Newsday, which apparently has no influence since they left us out of the piece they did on people that do models, even though I wrote to them a long letter. I'll take a break on that. Let you marinate a little bit on that. Good. So one of my favorite Christmas movies, and I got my niece, she got me hooked up into Elf. My mom, I got my mom. Everybody loves Elf. And I was watching, this was actually, I have to take a moment because this was something good on Netflix that I did watch. See, I'm not all full of vinegar and venom like Steve says. Steve always says I'm full of venom and vinegar. I'm filled with hate and anger and upset. Not all the time. So Netflix did a piece called Movies That Made Us, Holiday Movies That Made Us, and Elf was one. So what they do is they tell you about the creation of the movie, how it was written, how it came to be. And actually, for the movie Elf, I'll give you some interesting trivia. Jim Carrey was originally offered the part of Elf. And they went to Will Ferrell as a second choice because Jim Carrey, I think he passed over on it. And one of the producers, they were all junior producers trying to put this together at New Line Cinema, which was new at the time. And one of the guys played basketball with Will Ferrell's agent, and they got Will Ferrell attached. Then they got Jon Favreau, the great Jon Favreau, to direct it. And there you go. You know, they actually didn't want Zooey Deschanel to play Jovi. They originally wanted Katie Holmes. This is the network, because she was, I guess, more famous at the time. But it turned out that she passed on it, but Zoe's a much better singer. And they wanted that big duet scene with Will Ferrell and her in the shower when they're singing Baby It's Cold Outside. So they made the right choice. It's always funny how it always ends up seeming like these were the perfect people to play. Even James Caan, who plays Will Ferrell, Buddy's dad, wasn't the first choice. So they get this whole cast together. New Line Cinema gives them $30 million. Says, fine, make this mess. Maybe we'll recoup our money. The movie grosses $300 million. Unbelievable. And still going. Now, they wanted to do an Elf 2. Elf the sequel. Will Ferrell turns it down. $29 million they offered him. I would love to be in a position where I could turn down $29 million. I'm not in a position where I could turn down $29. Hopefully one day. Hopefully if the Steve Squared Show takes off, as I hope it will. I mean, it's only been running and airing for, I don't know, years now. I've been promised, and look where I'm doing. Look what's happened. But I hear that we're maybe, possibly, hopefully, some news. Maybe we'll get into the studio soon. They were working on it. I don't know. Meanwhile, first things first, I have to find my hosts, my co-hosts. I got to find Steve and Emily, because this is hard just to go on and on and on. But Jim Carrey, what was some interesting... Will Ferrell's brother was actually in Elf. He played one of the security guards. That was Will Ferrell's brother. Another interesting little tidbit was they loved there was some stop-go animation that they copied from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, and you could see some of the way they do the figures was copied from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They were able to do this because due to a editing error of a Roman numeral, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer didn't have any copyright on all of that content and on their stop animation. So, yay for loopholes. The lawyers and legal team of Elf was able to do this and copy it. No matter how scummy it was, they did. Wanda Sykes was actually supposed to be an Elf. She turned it down. She was supposed to play the store manager that was played by Faison Love. Oh, he was so much better. Again, way better than the initial choices that they had. He was funny in a very small role, but he was hysterical. Ed Asner's in it, Bob Newhart, great movie. So that I was trying to get an idea of all these different really good holiday movies. They really bombard you, right? They have to stop showing A Christmas Story over and over and over again on Christmas Day. I know it's a tradition, but just show it once or twice. You know, you don't have to repeat it all day long. It's a little annoying. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. I do love that. And Peter, speaking of You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Peter Billingsley of A Christmas Story is also in Elf. There was a lot of connections they did. If you really look into it, it's very interesting, I thought. Very fascinating, stuff about that. So if you get an opportunity, I want you to watch Elf. And it was really, really good. I was actually talking to some friends, and I was trying to get a consensus, and let me ask you, it's that time of year where we get a tree, right? Not everybody, some people. If you are someone that gets a tree, do you cut the tree down yourself. Long Island has a lot of these little farms where you're allowed to run around with an axe. That sounds safe. You go out, you have a couple of drinks, they hand you an axe, and you're allowed to just go to work. Okay. So you have that option. You have the option of just buying a tree. Go get it at a tree lot, things like that. That's what we do. We always get a tree at a nursery. I don't want to say which nursery because I don't want you all flocking there to take the tree that I will be getting. I'm sure it's there and it's waiting for me, and I don't want you all stealing my perfect. But I'll tell you what kind we do like to get. There's different trees, right? If you know this, they're not all just green. There's more to it. There's we get it's called a Fraser fir. But there's other kinds. There's evergreens, there's Scotch pine. There's all different kinds. Some have needles that hurt you. Some are soft. The Fraser fir is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Very soft, like velvet. I would wear a Fraser fir shirt. If they made a shirt and pants out of Fraser fir, I would wear a suit made out of Fraser fir. It's delicious, gorgeous. So that's what we'll be doing. But some people get an artificial tree, right? They put it together. I know friends and family that do that too, which is great too. You don't have to worry about needles falling off, watering the tree. You just screw it together and unscrew it, and you could have it up all year long if you want. Enjoy your tree 6 months out of the year. Put it up in September. Put it up in August. So you could do that. So I wonder what people's feelings are or choices. I had a friend, a client, she told me after 28 years, she's going to an artificial tree this year. I'm a traditionalist with a lot of things. I like the smell of the real tree. I like the whole process of going for the real tree, and just, you pick it out, and there's some have holes and spots, and this doesn't look, the top doesn't look, this is misshaped and everything like that. So that's what I like to do. I wonder if one year at Rockefeller Center they'd get an artificial tree for the Rockefeller Center. Imagine that. They just got like some 300-foot tall artificial tree and just screwed it in all the. No, they get the real tree. And you heard about what happened with this year's real tree. They found an owl in it. It made it the trip all the way from upstate, and there was a live owl in the tree, which was fascinating. I have to look that up more in depth. I spoke about it last week. Somebody find me the name. They've named this owl, and they put it in some kind of place. I don't know. But it's very interesting, and I'm glad. Emily would not like to hear about this. She hates birds, especially creepy birds like an owl. We don't, they kind of have that no neck thing. But that's interesting. So if you are on Long Island, out east is where more of the farms are, where they can cut down trees. We usually just go to a little nursery. It's really nice, close by. You shove the tree in your car and you go off. You string it together. My dad, always through the years, would always wait in the car, right? We'd go in, he would wait in the car, wanted no part of it. It's always, he would do the tying and the wrapping of the, wrap it up. He's like, just, and every year would be, I don't want a big tree, keep it, I don't want, and we would always get whatever. But, that was always, he would always whisper, see, keep it small, not too big. I like in Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, where he goes out to the wilderness and cuts down the tree and it doesn't fit in the house. They copied that in Elf, if you remember. Buddy cuts down a tree in the park, and the top is screeching along the ceiling. And so that's always maybe we should do that. I'll ask my parents to do that in their home, in their house. Do something like that would be pretty funny. I don't know. But that's something to take a look at. I was watching, this is another, trying to give you guys some suggestions for movie watching. So there's tons of holiday movies, that's easy. There was a movie I was really interested in. It was called The Current War. The Current War, which means like electrical current. And it was the story of Thomas Edison discovering electricity and starting lighting the areas, and he was going up against George Westinghouse, who is still a name, Westinghouse Products. I'm sure people have some kind of Westinghouse product in their home. And they were battling for who was going to get the contracts to light up the whole country. That and they talk about Tesla's in the movie, the character playing him, not the actual Tesla, and J.P. Morgan and all these people that were like, names that we still know today. And we're talking late 1800s. That to me is very that's impressive. They were discovering electricity. They were lighting the country, giving us light. That is impressive. Coming up with a new iPhone every week that does some nothing, useless thing to my life, and then having us all wait online as if it's like somebody just invented fire. It's just not impressive. I'm sorry, Apple. But your phones that go out of date in 2 months that are horrible, the battery, oh, you got to get the iPhone 1500. You have the 1400? What are you, a slob? What are you, some kind of poor person that you can't afford the iPhone 52,000, right? The way they look at you in judgment and disgust because you have last year's model or last week's model. That came out 2 weeks ago. That's old. It's useless. What are you? Poor. You don't know you don't know what's trending. I got this iPhone. It eats for me. It actually will eat for me. That's how great this iPhone is. Bunch of scammers. Every week there's a new iPhone. And it always seems to pop up around the holiday times. Good for them. Good for the unbelievable. Why don't they work on inventing something that I can actually use? Something useless, something useful for me. My dad is a good inventor. Me and my dad, we had this great idea. We were trying to put this together when you could fly. Now it might not work because nobody's really flying. But we had the idea for the exercise chair, right? You attach, it's called the fit chair, and you have attachments that you, on a flight, you can exercise, right? That's a good invention. So, you're sitting in your chair for a long time, you're getting restless, maybe you want to pedal your legs a little bit, right? Get the legs, get some blood flow, right? You're squished into the window seat, you got some person in front of you, somebody to the left, somebody to the right, and now you can, you can pedal your legs a little bit, maybe get little stretch bands. That is an invention, okay? So don't steal that from me. We were patenting it. We had good ideas, and we were drawing it up, and then this whole pandemic thing happened, and there's not a lot of use for that right now in the air, since it's not a lot of flying or people flying. But they will, and then we'll have that idea ready to roll. My dad actually had another good idea. I'm trying to think what it was. It was another very fast idea. I'll have to ask him for next week's show. Was also really good. He told me he wants to work on that together. Was supposed to be very good. It wasn't the turkey. I don't know what it was, but it was something. Maybe it was this. No, it wasn't that. But that's where people should be. That's the real inventing. We really need to get back to the drawing board and get some things that are going to help our lives, something useful. But I didn't see this year's tree lighting, the big one in Rockefeller Center. My parents watched it. They said it was very good. They have, they have the musical artists or whatever they have, and then they light the tree. I don't even know if you can go see the tree. I guess you could drive there and drive through. On Long Island, if you'd like, I saw Jones Beach. They do this every year where you could drive through and see the lights. That's interesting. It's $30 per carload. But in these times, it's really one person per car. So it's really $30. And you can drive through and you can see some lights. And I thought, when you're watching those magical lights and your tree lights up and you're watching houses with 45,000 streaming bowls of light, that's what Chevy Chase says. I want you to think of that Thomas Edison. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was Chevy Chase ranting from Christmas Vacation. But yeah, think of where light comes from and all this great. I have a ring light behind here. I'm hoping that it's It looks a little bright, but I don't want to adjust it now and throw everything off because we're rolling so beautifully through the show. I don't want to disturb anything. But that's something I wanted you to think about when you're traveling through. So yeah, I mean, you're going to have to think about holiday plans a little different. I don't know what people are doing. But your holiday shopping is, I haven't even started. I'm a late shopper. It's coming up on December 7th. I've been so involved in my book, the Anything is Possible Jack LaLanne book, which hopefully will be ready by Christmas. Shh, because that's what I'm basically giving everybody. I'm going to give everybody a copy of my, I mean, what's better than that? So everybody can look forward to that. But if it doesn't come in time, I'm going to have to, go to plan B and start buying things. But no, I have some other ideas, but people have to start, and you have to order. I just want to give a heads up because they're getting backlogged with delivery because there's more than normal. So don't wait until the last minute. Order whatever. Just order in bulk. My sister's the best at this. She just clicks that order button, things just get cheap, and she doesn't even know what's there. It just a pile, and then you just start sticking names and giving them to people. You don't even know what it is. You don't even care. Just give it out. No, I'm kidding. But she does. She's very efficient with that. She orders, gets it done, out, complete. That's what you need to do. Don't dilly-dally. I'm a procrastinator with certain things. So that I always wait, and then I'm in panic mode, and then they're going to get you with the fast shipping prices, and things like that. So this book thing better come through for me because I that's my plan for this year. And I think it will, though, based on the timing. And as soon as the show is over, I'm going to try to finish working on that book. Of course, after I have a lovely dinner of choices. I'm thinking of having maybe like not really sure, maybe like some grilled chicken tonight, a little Mexican night, have something with some soft corn tortillas. Not really sure yet. But I will be working on that. Hopefully get that book out to all of you, all my squares, so you guys can find it on Amazon. That's the goal. The goal of the book is, and there's a lot of great things. Jack LaLanne was such an interesting figure. Just to tell you a little bit about him, we all know of him kind of now from The Juicer, where him and his wife are pitching LaLanne, great name. They're pitching the juice machine at like 3 o'clock in the morning, right? But go back in time, this man, he really, all the fitness that we do now is due to him, right? Because before him, it was more the strong man in the circus, and nobody really exercised in health clubs. There were no gyms, really. And it wasn't a mainstream thing. And because of him and having his show and telling people to be healthy and fit, he put America, as I say it, and I use this line in my book, he put he put fitness on the lips and on the hips of mainstream America. You can find that line in my book. It's a good one. I'm sure throughout the book I'll be spending most of 2021 in court on legal battle. So I'm hoping to find somebody really good who represents literary authors, because I think I hopefully used all proper material. I tried to be really careful, especially with pictures. I got all the rights, all the things. Very hard to do something like this and not get in trouble. But he was really a trailblazer. He really was trying to pitch and advocate, and Steve always makes fun of me because I always do this Jack LaLanne impersonation. He comes out and he goes, "Hey, good evening and happy Monday to you. I'm your host, Jack LaLanne, and I'm here to do one thing and one thing only. That's to make you look better and feel better." Are you with me? I know you are. And so that was kind of his shtick, and he would always be screaming about fitness and have all those corny sayings. If man made it, don't eat it. Would you give your dog a cup of coffee and a donut and a cigarette in the morning? Of course you wouldn't. People work at dying. I work at living. He would always say that. I work at living. People work at dying. I don't know how that works. But I put all of that in there with some pretty cool pictures, and I try to put some interesting trivia. I don't want to make. I didn't want to make it like a normal biography where it was kind of dull and boring. I've read those, and my book is a little shorter. It's quicker. It's a fast read, and thanks to my mom, there'll be thousands of commas to enjoy. You can pause every word. Jack was a so. No, but there'll be plenty of commas for you all to enjoy, and I think it'll be interesting, and I think it's he's again like that's why I like the Thomas S movie. I'm really interested in a lot of historical figures, people that why we have things that we have today, right? We belong to gyms and have all of these fitness people that have thousands of Instagram followers and for doing really nothing, right? If you ever seen some of these exercise routines they do, some of them are terrible. You should actually, who's really, and of course I'm going to be partial, but my nephew, I believe his Instagram handle is Kaminsky Fit. I follow him. You should follow him. He's great. Because he talks about more his journey and he's really honest in his posts. He's not pitching things. He is really more trying to share and trying to say, the good and the bad. So it doesn't just all look amazing. He really talks about struggles and things and really overcoming and things like that. So it's really interesting. And so he's a good storyteller too. He's a great photographer. But if I believe I'll check on that for next week. But that's Kaminsky Fit. You can check out his Instagram handle and see all his great videos and pictures. And of course, you can always see me on Jiminy Cricket, Gyminy Cricket with a K. And I have a lot of Jack LaLanne posts on there about the book and some of his trivia and facts about him, Elaine, his whole crazy family, his wild upbringing as a child, and all of that nonsense. So that's pretty interesting. He actually, at 54 years old, beat Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was 21, in a push-up and pull-up contest. So that was pretty. He beat the Terminator and the Governator. So that is in there too. So there's a lot of good stuff. Of course, you can always go to Gov's Radio and see any of the lineup of Governor's Comedy Club radio shows. We have lots of them. Like I said, Tony and Sally have Knock 'em Dead Comedy, the Steve Squared Show, of course. You could see Georgia Rose. She does a really good astrology type show, and all the rest. There's lots of great shows on there. And, get out there limitedly, I guess, when you're getting your tree and grab it and just run back into your car and, do all your support. Try, I have a friend and whose daughter's doing a great thing. She's really trying to make sure to buy from local places, not just keep feeding that, those big online distributors, we know who. She's really trying to, get things from locally, really trying to help them out, as whether it's a restaurant or a place that's, try to, getting somebody a unique Christmas gift, something like that. And so she's, good for her. I think people are really trying to do things like that. I'll try to end on a more inspirational note. I know I started with a lot of vinegar, but I'm going to try to end with more something sweeter, if you will. A more aromatic flavor, because Steve always, like I said, accuses me of being so jaded and so angry. But that's what makes the show, right? You like a little anger in your life, especially on a Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. But enjoy. We want you to have a great holiday week as we get closer to Christmas. And we will definitely see you next Monday at 6:30, hopefully with my other two squares, which would be a cube, Steve and Emily. And if not, of course you'll always have me. I will never leave you like them. I'm always here for you. For myself and for the great Stephen M. and Emily, have a wonderful week and enjoy.